ill-founded, hypocritical, and baseless. That's how the New Patriotic Party describes calls for the arrest of Bryan Acheampong, Member of Parliament for BTV constituency, over comments he made that seem to suggest that the New Patriotic Party should arrest and ensure they keep power in the year 2024. Well, this comment has caused an uproar across board, including the NDC calling for the immediate arrest of the Member of Parliament. But the NPP, in their defense, say they are not retracting, neither are they apologizing. We'll bring you comments by the communications director of the party shortly. But first on your screens now is a statement released by the party earlier on today. It reads, the New Patriotic Party has cited a flippant statement signed by the General Secretary of the Opposition New National Democratic Congress on comments made by Bryan Acheampong, Member of Parliament for the Abitifi constituency and Minister for Food and Agriculture, while addressing some party supporters in the Eastern region, which the NDC describes as treasonable. While the NPP finds the NDC statement not only ill-founded, hypocritical, illogical, and baseless, but also one that lacks contextual substance for the consumption of the discerning Ghanaians who are not oblivious to the modus operandi of the main opposition party in deliberately putting diabolical and mischievous slant to the otherwise innocuous comments made, such as comments made by the Member of Parliament in furtherance of their selfish political interests. The next paragraph reads, since the NDC pretends not to appreciate the illogical logical statement decoded by Bryan's message, we would once again educate them, just as we've done on many occasions. Now, for the avoidance of doubt, Honorable Bryan Acheampong was responding to the NDC's perpetual flag bearer, John Dramani Mahama, who had on many occasions described the 2024 general elections as one of a do or die for the NDC. Now, it is, in fact, no secret that the NDC has always resorted to violence and intimidation against their opponents during the conduct of general elections. And this was summed up by their 2024 pre-consumptive presidential candidate, John Dramani Mahama. He has stated emphatically that the NDC has revolutionary root and that when it comes to unleashing violence, nobody can beat us in terms of the NDC in unleashing violence. Well, the next paragraph goes on to talk about other members of the NDC making comments as such, and he moves on to say that it was in this response that to the myriad of reckless and treasonable comments from the NDC that Honorable Bryan Acheampong gave encouragement to supporters of the NPP. So that's it. They're basically defending the statement by Bryan Acheampong. Well, we'll bring you more on this shortly, but let's listen to the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, Mustafa Bande. Today he spoke to my colleague Blessed Sugar on the Pulse. Now, he insists that if the IGP of Police does not call for the arrest of Bryan Acheampong, the party will take up the issue.
It is only a warped logic to compare a comment such as boot for boot to an individual who is saying that we will show the people that we have the men. We will not stand on any platform to hand over power to the NDC. This is treasonable. This is an attempt to incite his supporters against the NDC violently. In effect, what he's trying to do to this country is to plunge the nation into civil unrest. And this is not coming from an ordinary person. This is coming from a minister of state, a person who have once been at the national security as a deputy minister, saying this kind of thing. We are not scared. We only thought that we are engaging to undertake a very intellectual democratic exercise of election. But if in Bryan's logic, supported by his party, they are willing to show us that they have the men, we have taken precaution. The base of the NDC have taken notice of such unguided comments. We are waiting for the IGP to act. If he fails to act, we will. We are not cowards. We are not scared of the system. Nanado, we've had presidents before him. Presidents will come and go, government will leave. And I'm saying that if only the people of Ghana vote for the NDC, Nanado and his people will leave. They will leave the Jubilee House at all costs. We will not.
We can now hear from the communications director of the NPP, Richard Ahiagbah, who insists the NDC set the precedence for such comments to fly around unabated. Listen.
Honorable Bryan's statement he made is the effect of the cause that former President Mahama created. He is the cause of that response. And so if you are needing somebody to apologize, then it must begin with the former president. And indeed, he was offered the opportunity to apologize. He refused. So if you are given opportunity for something you have said which is threatening on the future peace of our country, and you refuse to accept it, and other people are responding to what you have said, which is threatening our collective future, then you are the one to be advised. He must go first to apologize, to invalidate what Honorable Bryan said. His comment on Saturday was a direct response to the threatening position of the NDC. If you look at our history as a country, those who have been violent and threatening violent all the time since the beginning of 1992 has been the NDC. The issue here is a cause and effect. The cause of the issue that we are discussing now is the former president, the NDC, who started talking about we are going to do or die, boot for boot, and all of that. Whatever those means, we know them to be violent. And we're saying that we are not going to sit and take your violence. We also have the men to counter your violence. So if anybody wants to stop violence, it begins with the NDC. Tell the NDC to stop talking violent, and you will not have violence in this country.